Let's open the book on this. In Southern California, a CAL FIRE employee is facing serious criminal charges after alleged assaults, including one at a fire station. Questions about safety and oversight are front and center this morning. All right, here's where we begin. I'm Leah, keeping it real from Los Angeles with today's top local stories.
And I'm Garrett. Let's dive right in. This is Laid Back Local from LA, moving fast through what matters today. First up, serious charges against a CAL FIRE employee are raising major oversight questions. CAL FIRE is the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, the state's wildland firefighting and emergency response agency. Prosecutors say David Renteria has been charged with raping 3 women, including an alleged assault at Fire Station 96 in Temecula in Riverside County. A civil claim, which is a formal notice that usually precedes a lawsuit, alleges one assault at the station lasted about 6 hours. After a 4-month investigation by the Riverside County Sheriff's Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force, Renteria was arrested in April. He faces 12 felony counts and is being held on $7 million bail. Bail is the amount set to allow release before trial. These are allegations, and he's presumed innocent unless proven guilty, but the case is putting CAL FIRE's supervision and hiring practices under a microscope.
That alleged 6-hour timeline is, honestly, chilling. If that happened inside a working station, why did no one intervene? Real talk, that's where oversight has to be airtight. CAL FIRE has faced misconduct allegations at stations before, and this puts fresh weight on leadership to review staffing, supervision, and reporting systems. Basically, who is watching and how quickly can someone raise a red flag? We need accountability without delay.
Yeah, that hits different. Why would something go on that long without someone stepping in? We don't have those answers yet. Investigators haven't released that level of detail. What we do know is that internal reviews are likely, and the courts will sort the criminal charges while the civil claim moves on a separate track. We'll keep it focused on confirmed steps as that unfolds.
Okay, let's move on. Tragic news out of Garden Grove. A 13-year-old boy from Santa Ana died after losing control of an electric motorcycle late Friday near Magnolia Street and Larson Avenue. Life 360, which is a family location and safety app, flagged the crash. He was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. Police say speed was around 35 miles per hour, and he struck a median, which is the raised divider in the middle of the road. Electric motorcycles, which are more powerful than typical e-bikes, are not street legal in California. That means they're not allowed on public roads and don't meet the safety and equipment rules required for traffic.
This one's tough. These electric motorcycles are getting popular with teens, but they can hit speeds well above street-legal e-bikes, which usually top out at 28 miles an hour. We're also seeing enforcement cases. In April, a Yorba Linda father was charged with felony child endangerment after his son allegedly ran a red light on a modified e-motorcycle. I'm all about freedom and fun, but we need clear rules and real education on what's legal and what's safe. And honestly, why are these showing up on roads if they're not street legal?
Basically, teens can buy or borrow them and ride in neighborhoods, and enforcement can't be everywhere at once. Plus, some families might not realize the legal difference between an e-bike, which is allowed on streets and has speed classes, and an e-motorcycle, which usually isn't. Let's not let this one slide by. Knowing the rules could save a life.
Next up, Southern California animal sanctuaries under strain. Villa Chardonnay Horses with Wings, an animal sanctuary with sites in our region, is facing severe neglect accusations. The San Diego Humane Society, which is a nonprofit animal welfare group that also conducts shelters and rescues, removed hundreds of animals in May. This follows a March rescue of hundreds in Lake Hughes and an April rescue of 480 ducks from a home in Anza. Villa Chardonnay filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2025 over a $1.6 million unpaid loan. Chapter 11 is the type of bankruptcy that allows a business to reorganize while operating. Big picture, rising feed and veterinary costs, plus dropping donations, have put many sanctuaries on the brink. good intentions can run headlong into real-world budgets and staffing limits.
This one really resonates with me. People start sanctuaries from the heart, but animals need stable funding, trained care, and contingency plans. Like what happens if donations fall off? Transparent budgets, regular veterinary checks, and outside audits can help. And when groups stumble, rapid support and oversight can keep animals from suffering. It's got more weight than it seems. The line between rescue and risk is very thin when money runs out. Switching gears just a little. Dark money is casting a longer shadow over LA city elections. Dark money means political spending by nonprofits that don't have to disclose their donors. A group called Neighbors First, formed in 2023, has been sending attack mailers targeting city council candidates backed by the Democratic Socialists of America. Neighbors First is promoting more moderate candidates, and public filings show they've spent about $366,000 on messaging tied to police funding and affordable housing without naming donors. The through line here is transparency. Voters can't evaluate motives if the money trail is hidden.
Yeah, that checks out. As a voter, I want to know who is paying for the mailer in my box, so why is this allowed? In short, certain types of nonprofits aren't required by law to list donors, and they can spend independently in local races as long as they don't coordinate with campaigns. That's legal, but it leaves a big blind spot. Practical tip: check the fine print on mailers for the group's name and filing ID. Even if donors aren't listed, you can see who's doing the spending and compare messages across districts. On to statewide health news with local stakes. California providers are preparing for possible restrictions on the abortion pill mifepristone. That's the first drug in a common two-pill medication abortion, used in about 63% of legal abortions in 2023. If access narrows, many plan to shift to a misoprostol-only protocol. Misoprostol is the second drug in the two-step method, and using it alone is slightly less effective, but still a viable option according to providers. Here's the legal arc. On May 1st, the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals moved to block virtual prescribing of mifepristone. But on May 8th, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a stay, which is a temporary pause, allowing prescriptions to resume for now while the case continues. California has also passed protections for clinicians who prescribe to patients in states with bans, though the national legal picture could still shift.
Let's unpack this. Contingency planning matters. Keeping access through misoprostol-only protocols, even if a bit less effective, helps ensure continuity of care. The legal back and forth could reshape how care is delivered, especially across state lines, so those California protections for clinicians are doing real work. We're watching the courts, but the immediate takeaway is that providers are preparing so patients aren't left in limbo. And that's where we'll leave it for now from Los Angeles. I'm Leah.
I'm Garrett. So there we have it, folks. Stay safe out there and tune in tomorrow for the latest.